You're standing there and you know what comes next. You've done this before, maybe 20 times, maybe 200 times. Doesn't matter. The moment is always the same. The water looks cold because it is cold, and for a few seconds, maybe 10, maybe 30, something in you doesn't move. And this video is about that moment. Not the plunge, not the benefits, not the protocol. That pause right before you get in. This channel is about cold water plunging and exploring the Danish coast. If you want to disconnect from a fast-paced life and just enjoy the sound of the water, welcome. You'll experience how each plunge feels, so follow along to discover the beauty of this part of Scandinavia. That pause right before you get in. There's a name for it, technically, an anticipatory stress response. The body preparing for something it hasn't decided to accept yet. But that's not what it feels like from the inside. From the inside, it feels like a negotiation. One part of you knows why you're here. The other part, older, louder, less reasonable, is making a case for not going in, for waiting, for doing it tomorrow, when conditions are better, when the wind has stopped, when you feel more ready. That voice isn't weakness, it's just doing its job. The question is whether you listen to it or not. I've stood at the edge of the sea hundreds of times by now, and the mind does the same things in roughly the same order. First, it checks the temperature. Not with curiosity, but with evidence. And it says, this is too cold. And it's right, because it is too cold. That's the point. Second, it finds conditions. The wind is wrong, the light is off. Irrelevant things that just become in that moment urgent arguments. And honestly, I've had them so many times. Third, this one took me longest to notice, and it asks, why are you doing this? Not aggressively, but just gently and genuinely. And if you don't have a real answer, not a podcast answer, not a protocol answer, then it waits. The moment before cold water is, in some way, a question. The entry is the answer. While the mind is negotiating, the body is already preparing. Your breathing changes first, slightly shorter, a little higher in the chest. Then the skin, you might not notice it consciously, but there is a tightening, a readiness that actually happens before the water even touches you. And then you go in. And all of that, the negotiation, the conditions, the questions, they stop completely. And then there is only cold and breathing and the decision to stay. The mind goes quiet in cold water, not because it's persuaded, but because it's been made irrelevant. That silence is why I keep coming back, not just for the benefits of the cold plunge. I'm not even looking at a streak. I go whenever I feel the time is right, and whenever I can go. And it's not even about the discipline. I think it's the silence that tells me let go of everything and focus and enjoy. What I've learned from standing at that edge repeatedly, in different weather, in different states of mind, is something I could not have read in a book. The resistance doesn't mean stop. It means you're here, present, paying attention. The resistance, honestly, is the hard part. Though I will say I love cold water. What changes with practice is not just the feeling. What changes is your relationship to it. You learn that you can stand there, feel all of that, and still go in. That's the practice, not the cold, but the decision. So whether you go to the sea, whether you go to a cold plunge tub, you will always be standing at that edge. It can be today, tomorrow, in a week, during the winter. Doesn't matter really, because it will get serious. And the moment will be there, same as always, that pause, that negotiation, that question. And you will know by then what your answer is. Just go in, don't think, and enjoy the cold water. By the way, I'm just an ordinary guy who really happens to love the cold and water. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.